Imagine surviving a decade of zombie apocalypse, only to realize the monsters have been studying you. They're evolving. They're getting smarter, faster, and quiet enough to stand right behind you without a sound. Welcome back to the channel, D Billionz family. Today we're diving back into Zombieland, Double Tap. A world where the rules of survival have been rewritten. Our original crew is back, but the stakes have never been higher. Let's see if a decade of experience is enough to survive the new breed of terror. 10 years ago, the world didn't just break, it rotted with the undead. Yeah, you heard that right. In the present, the situation is actually getting worse because the zombies are undergoing a terrifying evolution. First, you have the homers. These are the low IQ bottom feeders. Think about that for a second, they're so dumb they'll get their tongue stuck to ice in a blizzard. Easy to kill, but a reminder of what humanity used to be. Then, there are the Hawkings. These guys are a nightmare. They can actually solve problems. We see one literally rip the eye out of a dead scientist just to beat an iris scan lock. That's not just hunger, that's intent. And finally, the ninjas. They don't groan. They hide and wait. By the time you hear them, you're already dinner. Our survivors, Tallahassee, Wichita, Columbus, and Little Rock, have spent these 10 years becoming a single, lethal unit. They've mastered the art of the kill, moving through fields of zombies with a synchronized grace that makes it look like a dance. Because they're so effective, they decide to move into the ultimate fortress, the White House. Inside those historic walls, life feels almost normal for a few days. They redecorate, they laugh, and they celebrate Little Rock's 18th birthday. But here is where the human element gets complicated. Tallahassee has become a father figure to Little Rock, but he's suffocating her. He still sees her as a little girl, gifting her a gun that belonged to Elvis for Christmas in November. Little Rock is frustrated. She doesn't want more weapons, she wants peers. She wants to see the world beyond Tallahassee's shadow. While the family tension simmers, Columbus decides to escalate things with Wichita. He surprises her with a ring, asking for forever. But in a world where forever can end in a heartbeat, Wichita panics. She sees marriage as a trap that leads to a messy divorce, so she does what she does best, she creates distance. The next morning, the guys wake up to a gut punch. The sisters are gone, leaving nothing but a vague note. On the road, Wichita and Little Rock are trying to reclaim their independence in Tallahassee's modified car. They run into Berkeley, a pacifist musician. Little Rock is instantly drawn to him because he represents everything Tallahassee isn't: peace, music, and a lack of rules. A month passes. Tallahassee and Columbus are at a mall, trying to numb the pain of being abandoned. Columbus is whining about Wichita until they find Madison hiding in a candle store. Madison is, well, let's just say her survival is a miracle given her lack of common sense. Columbus is so desperate for a human connection that he invites her back to the White House, ignoring Tallahassee's obvious annoyance. That night, things get awkward. Columbus and Madison get intimate, only for Tallahassee to hear a noise in the garage. He almost shoots the intruder, but it's Wichita. She's back, but not for love. She explains that Little Rock ditched her to head to Graceland with Berkeley. Wichita is terrified because Berkeley is a pacifist who doesn't carry guns, and he told them about a new, elite zombie, the T-800. It's tougher, faster, and smarter than anything they've faced. Tallahassee realizes his little girl is in grave danger. The group piles into a minivan, which Tallahassee hates because it isn't manly, and they set off. The jealousy between Wichita and Madison makes the air in the car almost unbreathable. Meanwhile, Little Rock and Berkeley are bonding over weed in a money truck, completely oblivious to the T-800 stalking the roads. The group eventually finds a luxury bus and decides to switch vehicles. But Madison triggers the alarm, and the noise draws a horde. Our team uses their decade of training to hold them off, but then, a zombie takes a dozen shots to the chest and keeps running. This is the moment where the crew realizes that if the enemy has evolved, their tactics have to evolve too. Wichita's rifle suddenly jams, but Madison steps up and buys her time by blasting the creature with pepper spray. Up on the roof, Columbus uses sharp reflexes to dodge an incoming zombie, letting its own momentum carry it straight off the edge where the ground team can light it up. Tallahassee has to literally crush the T-800's head to make it stay down. After the fight, Tallahassee proudly paints his signature number, 3, on the side of the bus. But the victory is cut short. The second they drive forward, they roll right over a spike strip, instantly shredding the tires and forcing them straight back into that embarrassing minivan. The tension breaks when Madison falls ill. Assuming she's turning into a zombie, Columbus takes her into the woods. We hear a shot. The ride to Graceland is silent and heavy with guilt. When they arrive, Graceland is a ruin. But nearby, they find the Hound Dog Hotel and its owner, Nevada. She's a mirror image of Tallahassee, strong, Elvis-obsessed, and a survivor. They bond instantly. While they're at the hotel, Berkeley and Little Rock reach Babylon, a hippie commune behind massive walls. The catch? No guns allowed. Little Rock has to watch her weapons be melted down into jewelry. Back at the hotel, Tallahassee and Nevada's flirtation is interrupted by Albuquerque and Flagstaff, two survivors who look and act exactly like Tallahassee and Columbus. It's a bizarre, satirical encounter that quickly turns deadly when T-800s attack. The mirrors get bitten and turn instantly. A brutal fight breaks out in the hotel corridors, with our team using pool balls and Elvis statues to defend themselves. Tallahassee pins Albuquerque down with an Elvis bust and completely demolishes his head with a vintage guitar, while Nevada gets a clean angle and shoots Flagstaff directly through the skull right as he tackles Columbus to the ground. After putting the doppelgangers down, Tallahassee tries to claim it as the new kill of the year. Columbus shuts him down, bringing up a guy in Italy who set up human mannequins to lure a massive horde before dropping the entire Leaning Tower of Pisa right on top of them. The group heads for Babylon. On the way, they find Madison. It turns out Columbus couldn't kill her, and her sickness was just a nut allergy. She rejoins the family, and they finally reach the walls of Babylon. They reunite with Little Rock, but the peace is short-lived. While leaving, Tallahassee spots a massive horde of T-800 sprinting toward Babylon. So he drove back to inform everyone of the arriving danger. With no guns, they have to get creative. They quickly train the pacifist hippies to form a defensive shield wall, knock down a section of the exterior fence, and use a massive firework contraption as bait to funnel the horde inside. They use the tower's biodiesel to create a massive explosion, but it's not enough. A second, even larger wave charges through the fire, and our team is pushed to the limit, desperately fighting hand-to-hand with garden shovels. They're cornered, fighting with shovels, until Nevada arrives in her monster truck to crush the horde. She violently plows through the super zombies, spinning the truck to create a total tornado of crushing metal before driving up a wall, flipping the vehicle completely upside down, and crushing another wave. The final stand happens on the roof. Madison and Berkeley sprint up first, throwing heavy objects down from the railings to clear the stairs so the rest of the team can escape. Once on top, they use the hippies' shields to funnel the zombies off the edge. What Tallahassee does next is pure 1 billion IQ energy. Realizing that intelligence comes in many forms, he uses himself as live bait to draw the remaining horde forward at full speed. He sprints toward the edge, timing it to the exact millisecond, and leaps into the open air to grab onto a swinging construction crane. Unable to stop, the massive wave of T-800 sprints straight off the ledge, plunging hundreds of feet to their deaths. Columbus loudly declares it the undisputed kill of the century. Two remaining T-800s manage to climb the crane structure, locking onto Tallahassee's legs. Until Little Rock saves him with the very gun he gave her for Christmas. She kept it. She understood. With the threat entirely wiped out, the group forms a human chain to pull Tallahassee back onto safety. In the end, the family is stronger than ever. Wichita finally accepts the ring, realizing that having a partner isn't a weakness, it's the ultimate survival strategy. Nevada steps into Tallahassee's arms, copying them with a kiss, while Madison and Berkeley randomly start making out right next to them. Just to cap it off, a single, forgotten Homer zombie stumbles onto the roof, loses his footing, and walks straight off the edge to his death. After a night of heavy partying, the original Core 4 and Nevada pile into a brand new luxury sports car, and drive into the sunset as a true family. But wait, before the story completely wraps up, we get a legendary Day 1 flashback. We cut to a high-end press conference where Bill Murray is completely annoyed while promoting Garfield 3, as reporters beg him to mimic cat hairball noises. Suddenly, a reporter turns pale, vomits black fluid, and transforms into a ravenous monster. As assistants flee in terror, Bill remains completely calm. He stands up, smashes a heavy wooden chair over the monster's head, and kills it instantly. Stalking into the main hotel lobby, he finds the building overrun. Without losing his cool, Bill weaponizes the broken chair, methodically carving his way to the exit while casually muttering that he absolutely hates Mondays. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to support this channel. Wait, don't click off yet, just give me a minute. There is a deep psychological lesson in this movie that most people completely look past. The hippies in Babylon thought they found paradise by melting down their weapons, while our main characters thought they could find peace by constantly running away. But turning a blind eye to danger isn't freedom, and isolating yourself isn't protection. It's just building your own beautifully decorated graveyard while you're still alive. The brutal truth about real life is exactly the same. If you spend your entire existence running from people and pretending your problems don't exist just to feel safe, you aren't living. You are just waiting for the chaos to break through your fragile walls. The ultimate realization is that a perfect, painless paradise doesn't exist. You don't survive this cold world by running away, you survive it by standing your ground and fighting alongside the family who chooses to stand by you. Face your demons, and stop running from the people who love you. If you felt the soul in this story today, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, would you have melted your guns to get into Babylon? Stay smart. Stay safe. See you in the next video.